we try to make the most of the bones these houses have, but we can't do so many design changes. Main goal is to have a house that's clean and safe and everything in it works like it's supposed to, and it's as energy efficient and affordable to live in as possible. Each of these 4 rooms will house 5 men, each with a single bed and a nightstand, and then we'll have 20 lockers out here in the hallway so they can lock their personal belongings. The men will only live here for 18 weeks before they transition out into one of our smaller properties where they can enjoy more independent living. Starting out with a lot of support and supervision while they're living here. And then the next step will be to a smaller house where they'll have more control over their own curfews and budget and menu, etc. But all the while still having our support and our mentoring programs and all of that available to them. For a grand total of 18 months in our program before they're hopefully completely independent and well employed and living a good, stable life. Backing off, hopefully like a parent should do, right? They need so much care and feeding and everything when they're really little, but the real goal is to help them become good adults, not good children. Right, so just bear with this 18 weeks and then you get a nice place that's more like home. I didn't tell you that room downstairs that we started out in, that was what the Flynn home used as their lounge area. It had a big TV and couches and fluffy chairs. We got that mess out of there. That's going to be the education room. So we'll have a smaller TV up here. They're going to be providing semi-natural seating, but not so much to invite somebody to come home. Yeah, we're hoping to get local citizens to go get their unused treadmills and stationary bicycles in my house or something, just a couple of hours to sit and relax before bedtime, because then they're working with regularity the next morning. When the Flynn home was operating, they only had maybe 2 people in each one of these rooms, and they were letting people live here long term. So more and more furniture, and the guys would kind of bring in their own little box fans and put in the window and all that. Ain't time for that if you're just going to be here 18 weeks. Come in here, complete the program, and get on. We're just going to be in much more control. They had stuff going on like the air conditioning would be running, but one person didn't like the temperature, so they'd have a window open. And then once they leave here, we're going to keep encouraging them to go to the college and go through their admissions process and figure out what your aptitudes and passions are and try to really engage in stuff. Because not everybody who comes to us is going to be interested or have the aptitude to be a residential construction person. My guys working with us right now, they're only here because we're the only people that'll give them a job and try to help them. They have zero ability for building anything. I mean, they can't cut a board straight, they can't hang a door plumb. But yeah, we've been partnering with Monroe Community College for that for a year and a half, 2 years now. At the end of the day, we're a non-profit, so there's no profit distribution that this gets rolled back into the nation. Well, essentially, the mission of Hope Restorations is to provide paid employment, training, and support for adults recovering from addiction or incarceration. And the work that we do involves acquiring deteriorating homes in East Kingston and then renovating them to modern energy efficiency and safety standards to provide affordable low-income housing. This newest addition to our program we're calling the House of Hope, that we're busy now renovating, getting ready to house 20 men at a time. The men will come to us directly from rehab centers across the state and or directly from prisons. And we have a transitional program designed that will help us help these men transition from, at first, a very highly structured and supervised 18 weeks into steps towards greater and greater independence until ultimately they're ready to be self-sustaining on their own. And then as they graduate after the 18 weeks, they'll move into a smaller property of ours where they have more autonomy, more independence, and the ultimate goal being after about 18 months with us, to be in a position to be very well employed elsewhere and to have stable living conditions and have a happy, self-sustaining life. We care a lot about partnering with other existing agencies in the community. We've always wanted Hope Restorations to be something that the entire Lenoir County and Kinston community had a sense of ownership of. And we really think that the partnership with the United Way will help us achieve that. One of my pet peeves is replication. Somebody's already doing something. Instead of setting up and competing with them, go and help them do it better. But we don't do that. We say, well, I want to do it too. I want to do it my own way. I want to be in charge. So if somebody's already doing the service that we want provided for our constituents, then we just try to build a partnership and help them do what they do better. And then that frees us up to try to do what we think we know how to do. Right? Why reinvent the wheel and replicate and compete? We're all competing for the same grant dollars. We're all competing for the same qualified staff, and ultimately we're all competing for the same people to help. So why are we competing? We should be just helping each other. Prior to the United Way starting this new program, what I used to do as a pastor, when someone would approach me, I would call ICOR. They were that source of information. So that was like, if somebody called me saying I need help with my utility bill, my first litmus test question to see if they were valid is say, have you checked with ICOR? And if they haven't, then I would refer them to ICOR, and if they said they had, then I knew, okay, they're already an abuser, because if ICOR's saying we ain't gonna help you, that means something's up. One of the ways folks can help Hope Restorations in its ministry is come on nights and weekends and help teach our residents your hobbies, how to cook, how to carve wood, how to do pottery, or any other thing that might be something that you find therapeutic and relaxing to help you have a balanced, healthy life. And another way is you can get involved or remain involved with the United Way. It's such an important part of our community, and they do a lot of great work to help all of our local nonprofits to succeed in their ministries. It's really a great way for our community to thrive and prosper together.
I am.
We are.
What it means to live united.